Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Growl is a werewolf variant, sort of. So it's kind of like in that werewolf universe. It's put out by a different company because I think that's a free domain that people can utilize. So what you have here is a game where each turn someone's going to flip over a card and they have to give that card to somebody else. Get enough wounds, you die. Get enough werewolf cards, you turn into werewolf. And there's some cards that kind of block that. And every so often you're going to have a night phase where people will give cards to the left and right. And the werewolves are trying to turn people into werewolves and the people are trying to kill the werewolves, in effect. It's kind of a weird social deduction game. My kids love it. When their friends come over, they always want to play Growl. It's been a huge hit in our home. I'm not sure why. I think this would go over okay with adults. I think that for a werewolf variant that moves really, really quickly. And I do kind of like it better than, say, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Because in that game, I just feel like I don't have enough information to get started. It's always that initial hump to try to get people talking. Where this one, the game is going on while you're playing it. So there's not that time where it just stops and everybody just kind of, you have to just start accusing people for no reason. In this one, you're kind of playing the game. You're trying to deduce who is a werewolf, who's dying, who's out, who's left. There are a lot of expansions for this game that you can get in. I do like the undead expansion quite a bit because it prevents the problem of you're eliminated from the game and now you're just out watching us. We had a game 2 times in a row where the same guy was out on the first round. And it's incredibly boring to watch other people play. And he was a kid, so he didn't take it all that well. But, it can happen, probably will happen, and does happen. And the Undead expansion kind of helps with that. I did like the Undead expansion better. I thought it kind of completed the game a little bit. Nevertheless, I think this is a very, very solid social deduction game. I liked it quite a bit. It's one I'm going to keep. It's one that we have a lot of fun with. My kids as young as 6 and 7 can play it. And all the way up, I think adults will have fun with this one too. The more the merrier. You can add a whole bunch more cards in and have a lot more of kind of what's going on. The game, I feel like it's really well balanced too. I feel like, I don't know if the werewolves want any more than the humans. Might be a little bit easier for the werewolf, but if you give your ticks away and you let people know. Now it does have the problem that it can be a little chaotic if somebody isn't paying attention because they're just giving cards away willy-nilly, perhaps, or maybe not targeting who they will. I think Bang has that same problem. But I think that it really works here. I really had a lot of fun with Growl. It's been a huge hit in my family. And one day I would say, look, if you're into these kind of social deduction games, but you don't want to be all about social deduction, I reviewed a game called Get Atler. That was kind of the same way, where it's not all about the social deduction, but that is a part of the game. And it plays quickly and a lot of people. And it's a really good party game. It's super simple to explain. I think Growl is something that maybe you should track down. And it comes in a nice little box with all of the expansions. Huge hit for us. A keeper. Here's Growl, which is a Kickstarter kind of werewolf type game. One thing you'll notice from the components is you're going to have a magnetic little box here. You can hear that it snaps right in, which is really nice. Now I don't know if it comes with all of them, but the Kickstarter shows the expansions that would be in here. You open it, you're going to get a bag. Inside this bag, you're going to have cardboard coins that we'll use. They're nice, and the bag is nice, although it's a little hard for me to get my hand in there. You can have a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few. But what's particularly nice about this is the setup. You can see they have the 6 to 9 players in here, and each one of these slots inside is one of the expansions. The cards themselves are nice quality. You're going to see, you always have a picture here. It's kind of friendly, kid-friendly. The name of the card and the icons of what they do. Everybody's going to get one of these cardboard little life tokens that will be placed in front of them. And when you're alive, you'll be placed like this, and then when you die, you just flip it over to signify that you died. That's really all there is to it. The components are nice. Could these cards have been thicker? Sure, why not? But not a bad look to them at all. Very professional setup here. So set up the game. Everybody's going to get one of these in front of them. This will signify that they're alive. Then there will be a number of gold cards and bytes. So in a 5-player game, you have 4 gold and 1 byte. There's more bytes once you start getting to 6, 7, 8, 9 players. You shuffle these up, and everybody will get one. You get a gold card to start the game. Of course, this will be secret. Only you will know it. You are human. If you are the one to get the byte card, then you will start the game out as a werewolf. Keep in mind that once you're a werewolf, you're always a werewolf. So even if this card gets sent away for whatever reason, you're still always going to be a werewolf, and this will be played based on the honor system. After those are handed out, you will shuffle up the main deck, and everybody will receive 3 cards, which will be their starting hand, with the one card that gave them their role in the game. So you're going to start with 4 cards. Then you're going to take the night deck and shuffle it up, and the final night and shuffle it up. You'll take 1 final night, and you'll take 2 knights, and these will be put in the deck. The final night card will be put on top. 1 night card will be put, I don't know, somewhere at about the halfway point down in the deck. And the last night will be put somewhere around a third of the deck. Then you're going to turn the deck over. Everybody will be able to see this card, and you are ready to start playing Growl. Couple rules you got to know at first. If you ever end up with 3 wound cards, you will automatically die. You will announce that you're dead, and this will be flipped over, and you do not tell anybody what role you are. If the very first role card you got is a bite, of course, you'd be a werewolf, like I've already explained. Or if you receive 3 bite cards during the game, you will also become a werewolf. Keep in mind, whenever you're a werewolf, it's a secret information that only you know, but once you're a werewolf, you will always be a werewolf. I'll go ahead and show you what this card does. So if you are to win the game, which I'll get into in a minute, you get 1 coin. For each of these gold cards in your hand at the beginning of the game, you will receive additional gold, and these are kind of like victory points. So when it's your turn, what you're going to do is you take a look at the top card, read it off to everybody, and then you will give this card to another player. Let me talk about what some of these cards do. The salve, it allows you to heal a wound. So if I had a wound, which is usually 1 out of 3 I need to die, which you don't want to do, this will cure me. So this kind of blocks one of the wounds. So in this case, if I had this in my hand, I would have 0 wounds. The charms work exactly the same way, except for they do it with bite. So let's pretend like I was a human at the beginning of the game and I received a bite during the game. The charm would kind of block that. So instead of having 1 bite, I would have 0. Remember, once you're a werewolf, you're always a werewolf. Bites work the same way. We've shown those out, and the wounds we've shown what those do. Now, as the game progresses, these cards will end up in front of different people. Remember, when it's your turn, you take the top card, you give it to somebody who is not you. Whoever's turn it is when the night phase appears will read what the card says. Now, these are very different. This was the gift. Target any 2 living players who have 5+ cards. They both send any cards, even a bite, from their hand face down to each other's home tile. So basically, they're going to switch 2 cards, and then you would go into the night phase. Every night phase works exactly the same way. You're going to take a look at your hand, and you're going to take a card, any card you want from your hand, place it face down to the person on your right, and you'll take a card and press it face down in front of the person on your left. Keeping in mind, there's one general rule. Bite cards. You can only give a bite card away if you are a werewolf. And mind you, you want to do that because you want the other players to turn into werewolves. If you're a human player, you cannot give somebody a bite card. So, as this player, let's say on my left, ends up with 2 cards in his pile, he knows that if one of these, you'll shuffle these up, and you'll reveal them to yourself. Oh, I got a bite and a gold. Now I know, because I received a bite, that somebody on my left or my right has to be a werewolf. And I can't show anybody, but I can definitely tell, hey, I got a bite. Somebody on my left or right is a werewolf. Who could it be? I know somebody. Now, the werewolf, they both could be werewolves, right? One person gave me a bite, so one has to be. This person gave me a gold, but maybe they just didn't want to give me a bite to give it away. Who knows? But I know at least one person is. So that's how the night phase is going to work each round. You continue to do this, and then you'll hit your second night phase, continue to get these away, to get to the final night, which has a final night card, usually a stronger power, something that will happen. Then you do a night phase again. Now, once again, people die, they're out, and they will be skipped. At the end of the game, all the werewolves that exist will howl at the moon and reveal that they are a werewolf. If any humans survive, the humans win. They will get a gold coin from the bag and 1 gold coin additional for each gold card that they have. If there are no humans alive, i.e. all the humans are dead or they became werewolves, then the werewolves will get the gold instead of the humans, because they will win. Now you can play multiple hands and multiple turns of this. At the end, whoever has the most gold is your winner. Who should buy this game? Anybody who's interested in social deduction games, anybody who has large groups they want to play with. This is a great game for kids or adults. It's going to fit a lot of things. If you want to go to Thanksgiving dinner, you want to pull a game out, but not a lot of people like to play the heavier games, Growl is a great game to pull out. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with it. And it's one of my favorite social deduction games to come out in quite a while, because you're not just arguing about who is who. You don't have to have a group consensus. So there's no group consensus that comes in this game. I'm playing my cards, you play your cards. If you don't agree, we're pretty sure we're both humans, but we don't agree on who the werewolves are, then you play your cards how you want, I'll play mine how I want, and we'll see what unfolds. So you get to make those distinctions and decisions for yourself, and you don't have to be railroaded by other people, and I like that quite a bit. This is one of my go-to social deduction games. Growl was a huge hit with us, 2 thumbs up, and one I highly, highly recommend. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.